Medical Dilemma. Hello, my name is Harriton Boatco. I'm filling in for Sunny Del Rosario. The show is Medical Dilemma. At this point, we brought in the rest of the group. We've got Dr. Tess Sanchez to my left. We've got Father Jerry Manglangit, and we also have Attorney Sarah Sugitan. The reason we have Dr. Tess is the medical support group, so to speak. You've got a bioethicist by way of Father Jerry, who represents the Basilica of Manaoag. And we have Attorney Sarah Sugitan, obviously, for all the legal gobbledygook. And of course, we have our guest, our specialist. We've got Dr. Jessica Abano. We will go forward and go to the next slide that we momentarily stop. Doctora?
Yes. Another form of transplant that we do is what we call stem cell transplant. Stem cell transplant, the front part of the eye actually has stem cells. The front part of the eye, in this part, okay, there's a skin on top of the cornea, and the skin on top of the cornea degenerates. Okay, it is replaced every day, every minute of the day, and then we need new stem cells, new cells from the periphery of the cornea to repopulate the front part.
But that whole portion, if I may, matigas po yan, ano? That's a
Ito,
hardened
yes,
core.
matigas to.
Matigas yan. It's like what you're holding.
Yes.
It's actually characteristic of the actual eye. Matigas.
Yes, but not this hard.
No, of course not. But it's relatively solid, so to speak.
Yes, it is
And what you're
solid.
saying is the regeneration is at the perimeter of that circular pattern.
Yes.
Nagre-regenerate. Is that the tears that we get?
No, it's the skin of the cornea
Okay.
that regenerates. So sometimes in cases where there is stem cell deficiency, secondary to chemical injury, yung mga ganon, the cornea can also get blurred, or it can get white, damaged. And then you need the stem cells also to cover the skin of the front part. So that's when we do the stem cell transplant.
Kasi to me, Doktora, pag sinabi mo stem cell, no, it's the regeneration, the retransplantation, or what we do, like Senator Enrile, di ba? I mean, look at his face, look at Erap Estrada. Nag-stem cell na po yan, di ba nag-iiba? The hair looks different.
Parang pampabata eh.
Pampabata.
Stem cell,
and there's many kinds, di ba? Where they get it from their fat, or from a goat, or from somewhere else.
From
Germany, I understand it.
Yes.
May mga namamatay nga dyan, di ba?
Yes.
But that's another dilemma. Let's go forward.
Yes, actually, this is an example of a patient who has stem cell deficiency. Here, you have the case. This is a case of a 52-year-old male. He has only this good eye. This is the good eye, actually. Okay? Yes, this is the good eye. The other eye was actually had the gunshot wound, and that eye cannot see anymore. So this is the good eye of the patient. He was splashed with muriatic acid. So this is the outcome of a patient who was splashed with muriatic acid. So
And you were able to repair this?
Yes, this is after surgery. We did the stem cell transplant and corneal transplant.
May mga ethical issues ba yan when you're talking stem cell? In this specific case, stem cell is the harvesting from another body, another human being.
Yes.
Because this is not the stem cell we know, which is basically from fat or another animal or something, and they inject it different parts of your body, basically to make you, for vanity, di ba? Or sometimes repair of muscles and whatnot. Iba ito, no? This is a different stem cell. This is the transplantation of one good part to replace a bad portion of an eye.
Yes.
Of the same person.
Of the
Of the
same
same
person.
person. Can you transplant from the left to the right and right to the left?
Yes.
If it is available.
Yes, and if the donor eye doesn't have function anymore, so that's the only time you can remove it.
So
to
maganda
transfer.
pala ito. Pag nasira isang mata mo, punta na lang ako sa Muntinlupa City Jail, di ba yung mga penitentiary doon, marami naman dyan, yung 50 years reclusion perpetua. Uy, bilhin ko na lang mata mo, 50 mil lang naman yan, di ka naman makakalabas, di ka naman magmamaneho, you only need one eye. If there is no depth perception requirement,
that's the
hindi
dilemma.
ka naman magiging piloto, di ba? So, okay lang pala yun. Is that correct, Dr. Tess?
Not really.
Ay, di ba?
Si father na mag-elucidate.
Well, as far as transplantation is concerned, one of the things that we have to always remember is that organ transplants are supposed to be free and that monetary consideration must be out of the equation.
But we know for a fact this is an illicit trade, but it goes on all around the world,
Right.
and they do it. I mean, I just watched a movie recently where they harvested the kidney while he was asleep, put him on ice, and simply because they needed that organ. Yun by force. Of course,
Yeah.
illegal yun, ano?
Right.
But is it illegal if you're wealthy and somebody in need of money who has no use for the eye? After all, he's not going to be a pilot or driving a car. He's going to be in prison for the rest of his life.
According to Dr. Rabanyo, if one of the eyes not anymore functioning, for example, then you can harvest the cornea or something like that.
No, but from a live
That's
patient.
only stem cells.
The stem cell. Oh, that's only for the stem cells.
Oh, pero kung ito, hunin natin sa buhay na tao.
No.
And he, which means that one of the eyes or the donor eye is still functioning or
Yeah.
something like that. Okay.
A guy who's in prison for the rest of his life, may ginawa naman masama and he's serving his time.
Yeah.
Alam mo na, I mean, we
Yeah.
hear of this, we
Right.
read about this, whether it's a good practice or not, the rich will pounce on the poor and, hey, let me buy that eye. Illegal ba yun, attorney?
Well, this is covered by the Organ Donation Act. Yung both, I would think, stem cell and corneal donation and transplant. You see, as we have defined before, yung donation can either come from a relative or a non-relative. In this case, if you're going to get it from an inmate who's serving a life sentence in the maximum security prison, it will be a non-relative donor. You are not related to the donor. Ngayon,
But if the donor is willing to sell his eye for monetary value,
Yeah, it's-
precisely where there's where the ethics will come in.
kailangan niya
Because-
pera. Namamatay yung misis
Right.
niya, may sakit yung anak niya.
Right.
Kailangan niya ng pera. Ito naman mayaman. Kunin mo yung mata niya, lagay mo doon.
In ethics, on a deeper level, well, any part of the body is always something sacred and it is not subject to trade. And that's the reason why flesh trade is always immoral.
yes, and legally speaking, it should be a
Tama nga
donation.
naman, ano?
Yeah,
Supalpal na naman ako. Sige na.
no, it should be a donation. It cannot be a sale. Even if you give a monetary valuation to it, well, I'm not going to say wag ka pahuli na lang. Pero strictly speaking, only donations are allowed. It should be an act of liberality. Now, kung merong kapalit yun, of course, there are reported cases that they sell their kidneys. I don't know about the corneas though. Pero it's prohibited under the law.
Because we have two eyes. Would you take a good, healthy eye from a person that's living
No,
to put into
no.
another eye?
Definitely. It's not like your kidneys, wherein you can take out the kidney and the patient, the donor can
Dalawa
actually
naman
live.
mata natin eh.
Yes, but if you remove the cornea, you will damage the eye.
The other eye as the eye itself.
The eye
so it's no
itself.
good itself, by itself.
Kaya nga, I think cadaveric donors are the only ones allowed. Because, di ba, doktora, ano ba yan?
When
Pag
you-
wala kang cornea, blind ka na ba? Or-
Yes, you will damage
so-
the eye when you remove the cornea. Yes.
No, but if you took the whole eyeball out and just take the part that you needed
And-
and let go of the spare part.
And then
I know it
the
sounds
patient,
awful, but
yes.
I'm just saying.
Then the patient won't be able to see. I mean, the donor won't be able to see in that eye
Blind na rin,
anymore.
no?
Magiging
ganun naman
blind.
yan, magiging
So it
blind.
it will lead to blindness. Unlike when you take one kidney, the donor can still function normally.
That's right. That's right.
Doktora, mga doktor naman don't do that, no? They don't perform just like that because,
No.
hey, here's a willing donor. I'm not getting any money. I'm signing everything. Take this eye. Just leave this one for me. You wouldn't do it, di ba? Doctors don't do that.
And I think it's so hard to survive with just one eye. I mean,
Yes.
di ba? Not like in the kidney, you can survive with one
My
eye.
brother had an accident in his middle of his life, in his early 20s rather, and he had to do with one eye. He could actually drive. The problem is he
Yeah.
couldn't drive very well. He couldn't compete in the in the races because depth perception is impaired. This is what I found out
Right.
when you only have one eye.
So one of the things that we have also to remember is that, well, in organ transplantation or donation is that it may well be that the anatomic integrity of the donor may be impaired, but it should not impair the functional integrity. In other words, if you are a donor, it impairs your functional integrity. That cannot be. Kasi mahirap na, I am already a donor, I am already generous, but I am at the receiving end of the risk. That cannot be.
So, Doktora, when you take an eye out, kailangan patay na yung tao, brain dead. You
Usually,
can't take
yes.
it even from a willing agent who's willing to
No.
donate. Like, take my eye, because I can live with one, so that you can at least see, because one eye of yours is damaged, assume, or a patient's eye. He needs an eye so he can see. So I give my eye voluntarily, no, but in good health, good moral standing, and I give it so I can see anyway with one. You wouldn't do it.
No, because that would cause damage and visual
To whom?
impairment.
To me or
To the donor.
to the donor?
Yes.
So if you take one eye, yung isa mawawala rin.
No, no.
Hindi naman.
Yung
Not-
eye na yun, but no doctor will do that because no doctor will put you in that type of risk. The
So
risk
kailangan
of
patay na.
losing, the risk
It's
of
not
losing
allowed.
your vision. It's not.
So by law, attorney, hindi pwede, period. Even if there's a willing donor that's
I believe
healthy.
there are guidelines by the DOH, and corneal donors can only be cadaveric donors. They cannot be from a living person.
It's not like kidneys,
Kidneys, yeah.
liver.
Because you can live normally with just one kidney.
Correct.
But you cannot live so normally with your good eye, a good view, with just one.
I disagree with that. I can see, I lived with my brother for many years. Nakaganon yan eh. Halos bulag na. But he was able to live normally.
Yeah, but the possibility, you don't know the future, the possibility
Yes.
of having
An
Pag
accident.
bumigay.
Oo.
So if that one eye
Among
goes
others.
bad,
Wala
but
na,
it's the
you're
same thing
blind.
with the kidneys. One kidney goes bad eventually.
Not as
Ganun
much.
din yun.
Well,
Because you can
yeah.
live even up to 80 years or 35 years with just one kidney.
Ang mata
Normal
hindi
life.
proven.
Yeah,
Well, I think,
if
yeah.
if you
With just
undergo-
one, the depth of the vision
Yes.
is
When do you get your patients, Doctora? When people need one eye, the other eye to fix it? Or we as human beings degenerate with our organs through life and then we come to see specialists like you?
Well, there are certain conditions of the cornea that will, like corneal scar, that would be secondary to trauma. So accidents can lead to corneal
No,
scar.
but no accidents, no trauma.
No accidents,
Age.
no trauma. Yes, there are some diseases such as what we call endothelial dystrophies. It's a condition wherein the inside part of the cornea is damaged or degenerates. Those cases, we do corneal transplants as well. So even without trauma or anything,
So
you can have
may
cornea.
talagang marami nangangailangan ng services niyo po. Kumbaga,
May mga patients
iniisip
po.
ko lang kasi baka pagdating ng mga 60, 80 anyos, papalitan mo yung mata mo o masama. Kasi alam ko yung the inside when it starts to when it gets blurred, cataract.
The cataract.
The cataract is a normal procedure. I know a lot of people have gone through that. It clears the mucous membrane on that eye so it becomes clear again.
Yes.
Pero I'm just thinking, meron ba sa cornea na that degenerates?
Not really. It's not like cataract that is more common than
Yes, common
corneal
talaga,
diseases.
oo.
Yes. Cataract, most of the people will have cataract as they age. But corneal problems, not everyone will have. Certain conditions only.
But a cataract specialist, you are a cataract specialist before you
Yes.
become a cornea specialist.
Most of the
Or two different
ophthalmologists,
studies.
they're two different.
And even the retina, ibang study rin yun.
When we do residency, we specialize in ophthalmology. But after specializing in ophthalmology or the diseases of the eye, we go to further training. Then that's where we go either cornea specialist or yung sa back part of the eye, retina specialist. That's what we do.
We're going to have to take another short break. And before we even get to that, there are a lot of other issues we were not able to discuss. So if you stay with us, we will hear the dilemma when it comes to harvesting. Again, okay, we can't do live people. It's got to be a cadaver. What happens when religion comes into play? Then you've got real issues. Stay with us. We will be right back. But before you go, again, from our sponsors, we'd like to thank the St. Clair's Medical Center. We've got the Makati Medical Center. And we also have Life's Quest. And thank you very much. My name's Harry Tambuatco. We'll be right back.
products were designed to be used in industrial and medical economy.
So if I were you, I would be a lot more careful about what comes out of my mouth, especially in such a place where anything can spread like wildfire.
Why when you share something to a public, you find that experience, and that experience so rich it could change other people. Okay?
Like there are other